Let's welcome in Brett Goode to the conversation this morning, former Razorback, former Packer. Brett, we will ask him NFL questions, but we'll keep it right in line with this Texas game. You've got a chance to participate against the Longhorns. What is this atmosphere like when Arkansas takes on Texas?
It's crazy. You know, obviously I got to do it my first year when we went to Texas and came back the second year, and we came up short in that game. But the atmosphere around there is the excitement. Everybody, the rivalry from all the fans, you see the emotion come through. This game being at 6 o'clock, I mean, it's going to be nuts. You're going to have a lot of people that are who do the day drinking and the tailgating, so they're going to be ready to go, and it's going to be a fun environment, something that, you know, frankly, with COVID last year, we haven't seen in many years at Arkansas Stadium with a packed house like it's going to be come Saturday night.
Oh, yeah, you'll see tents going up readily on Friday afternoon. I mean, there would be tailgate. In fact, it wouldn't surprise me at Roadhog Park if there's not someone listening right now already set up for the game this week. But you'll start seeing a lot of signs of tailgating on Friday, I think, Brett.
Absolutely, and those are the professionals. We'd all love to go start tailgating right now. I mean,
we envy them. We envy all of them. Yeah.
Yes, we can go by and get some food from everybody. I mean, and that's the joy of tailgating. And not only are you doing it with, you know, the people that come to your tent, you're doing it with all your friends and family around you that come by, and you always say, you know, come by and get something to eat or something on the way in. And so that's the beauty of it. You know, we had no tailgating last year, so we're making up a lot of that this year. Everybody just needs to remember to hydrate because it's a long day. So hopefully all those guys, those people make it into the stadium and can cheer on our Hogs.
Well, you set your own hours, right? So you don't have to really do anything the rest of the week, don't you?
Well, you know, the kids. I have that other responsibility of the wife and kids. I've got to take care of my half of the responsibilities for that.
Okay. That's fair enough. So you mentioned just the atmosphere and stuff. Let's go back to 2004, one of those games you played in, Brett. I mean, it was electric. Now, Arkansas didn't get the outcome they wanted. Matt Jones and company just came up just short in that game. But leading up to it, especially since you played in Austin, but you hadn't played in Donald W. since I think it was 91 or 90. What were you hearing from fans and friends and family heading up to that game, and just how anticipated it actually was?
Well, you know, the year before we went into Texas, and they were highly ranked, and we beat them, and they were not happy. And so then we come out in 2004, and both of us, I think they beat North Texas and we beat New Mexico State or something like that, and we both blew them out pretty well. And so there's a lot of excitement leading into that game, saying, okay, now it's the rematch. Unfortunately, that was the one time that I had my mistake there in the 18 seconds into the ball game. But we were leading at halftime. It was just atmosphere. The people came out. Everybody throughout all week. You see it on campus. You see it, you hear it on the radio. You see it on the TV shows, and it's all about Texas. You start seeing. I mean, you can pull up your Facebook now, and everybody's got horns down. I mean, it's that beauty that everybody's going out there and they really want to beat Texas. And I think with Texas coming over the SEC, it would just make it that much more memorable if we can get a win here as they're rolling into the SEC in the next couple of years.
Is there any danger this game could be overhyped? I know they're educating players on the history and what this game means. Is there any danger they put too much into that leading into this game?
Yes, there is. When I was in Green Bay and we used to play the Bears, which is the oldest rivalry in the NFL, there's no team close to that. You know, they always talked about that rivalry, the old school rivalry. Well, you know, you go back to those old school rivalries, there's a lot of cheap shots and a lot of dirty hits. Well, you can't do that in today's game. You know, we saw that last week. You get a targeting call, you're gone. It's no questions asked. You're out of the ball game, and that goes for every position. You can hit anybody in a bad way. They're going to go look at that because the eye in the sky does not lie. So. But the players themselves, they're just trying to go out there and do their best. You know, they're trying to correct what they made last week, a lot of mental errors, and all the little issues that, you know, we had throughout the football game. Of, you know, and we talked about this last year because we gave up a punt block early. Well, now we gave up another one. So Texas they're going to rush the punt. So you know that and certain things that go along. So those guys, once the game gets going, it's just going to be another football game. They're trying to beat the team that's in front of them.
All right. Recovered fumble on the opening kickoff, block punt, one punt that went across the field. It looked like into the wind. That was a short punt. Sum up the special teams, what you saw, and what's got to get fixed this week before Texas.
Well, I mean, just we talked about the block punt, and I know the gentleman that you had on earlier were talking about how all three phases, and you made a very good point on our defense. The short field, it's that hidden yardage that nobody sees. A lot of people don't go to the stat line to see that. you give up a block punt and you have all these issues on special teams. That's the problem that gets you beat. That's the things that you go out and you're like, how did we lose that football game? And, it usually falls out that way. I don't know what the percentage is. I know when we used to play, if you gave up a block punt, the other team was, 78% more likely to win the ball game. I mean, that's how drastic it is on a block punt. So you got to take care of those little things. We shouldn't give up a block punt. We shouldn't have done that in the first game. They're keying on somebody. Somebody's not doing their technique right. Coach Fountain has coached this, but the players have got to buy in. They've got to take ownership of that unit because it means a lot to be able to flip that field and give your defense, where they need to have a lot of room to work with, and maybe you get a turnover and your offense gets a short field to work with. And I know our offense, from what it looks like, we're going to need a lot of help in this Texas game to gain the momentum and to keep it going because we struggle with too many 3-8 outs and we don't get in that rhythm. So if our defense can pick apart, the offense and get us something short, and our special teams are a part of that, it hypes up that whole sideline. So hopefully we can turn that around. So
break down that block punt for us. There was a guy in motion, and you thought, well, maybe he was going to pick up what what ended up to be the guy that blocked the punt. It's obviously a breakdown in protection. What happened? Did they bring one more than we could block? Did someone miss an assignment? Give us some technical idea of what happened on that block punt play.
Well, and that's exactly right. Without knowing their exact rules, it's hard. But so from just looking on the outside in, somebody that guy's got to be accounted for. The punter has also got to know that they've got a certain amount of people in the box. You've got to speed up. We always, if they've got 6 in the box, you kind of take your time. But if they're rushing a punt, you've got to speed up back there as being a punter as well, because you don't have as many guys down in coverage either that are going to be blocking. So you're going to get a better, result with your guys running downfield. So a guy looked like he came off the edge. Looks like we didn't account for him. A lot of times when you break down a lot of the films on punt protection, it's simple math. It's counting outside in 1, 2, 3, 4, sometimes 5. I mean, it's not hard. Your guy just has to know who's blocking. And those guys have got to communicate in there. We've got to have communication along the line. We always used to talk. Everybody's talking and pointing. You don't have to sit in there. Who cares if they know if you're blocking them? But you just go out there and try and beat your man, and that's the nature of the game. So those guys have got to communicate along the line of scrimmage. Those linemen that are there and that personal protection, they've got to communicate as well, whether they tell the punter to speed up or, they're going to shift over and actually block that guy. Because that's not the last time we're going to see that rush to the next part, first couple more games of the season.
Aaron Rodgers said that there's been better communication between the front office and himself as of late compared to years past. Brett, what do you think the odds are that he is still a Green Bay Packer after this season?
That's one of the toughest questions going into this season. They've got Jordan Love there. They drafted a guy to replace Aaron. You've got a lot of money being spent on the quarterback. He missed last year preseason because of COVID. He didn't perform great this year, so now you're going to be looking next year. Can you get something on the trade market? If you can, or maybe you have to re-sign him. That's the problem with these quarterbacks. They may have to give him a bunch of money if Aaron moves on and not even know if he can play. We've all seen that with a lot of quarterbacks getting paid a ton of money that didn't really pan out. So they're in a tough position. You hope that Aaron doesn't get hurt this year as a Packer fan, but maybe they can be ahead in some games and Jordan can get in there and get a little actual game experience because they're going to need to see some film. But in saying that, you go back to Aaron's early years when Brett Favre was still there. Aaron wasn't the best quarterback. There was a lot of people that talked about, this guy's not going to make it in Green Bay, and he had a lot of issues going on, but he developed. And that's what a lot of these good quarterbacks do, is they just develop along the way, but they're not thrown in the fire. So I'm not going to put it past Jordan Love to be able to take over the team next year, and I also don't think Aaron's going to be there unless something drastically changes, just because it's going to be hard to pay 2 quarterbacks that amount of money.
All right, last question for me. Dallas Cowboys, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Super Bowl champions, and Tom Brady, your Thursday night NFL kickoff. What's the optics from your perspective on this game, and can Dallas compete without Zach Martin be able to play most likely?
That's interesting. Dak didn't really play a whole lot during the preseason because of his shoulder issue. Your offensive line's banged up. We know Tampa Bay's got they've got 22 returning starters, which is kind of unheard of. When we won the Super Bowl or we went to the NFC Championship game, I think the 2014 to 2016, we had like 8 guys on the same team. So those rosters end up changing over quite a bit. So Tampa's probably check their ego at the door. They're hungry for another one. We know what Tom's doing, so they're going to be out there to fight and see what happens. So I think Dallas is going to surprise a lot of people this year, coming off of the way they performed last year, having a full off season. You know, Zeke looks good. He's lost a lot of weight, so it's going to be interesting. I think they can stay healthy and protect Dak. That's going to be the biggest key. Is you know, like for everybody, you protect your quarterback and give him some time back there, they're going to be okay. And I think they're going to have a revamped defense with Dan Quinn coming over, and we all know what he used to do in Seattle. So I think that the Cowboys are going to be in good shape. It's just if they can get out there to a fast start and compete with Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Should be a fun watch tomorrow night. Real quick before we go, Hogs or Horns Saturday? Who do you think wins the game?
Well, you know I'm going to be a homer and pick my Hogs, but it's going to be a close game. You know, there's going to be it's a roller coaster ride. Games like this are roller coasters. There's ups and downs. There's going to be mistakes. And it's who takes the last punch, and be able to give it back to them, because you got to get the explosive plays going. We can't just sit here and rely on a quarterback to run it in. We've got to be able to throw the ball downfield, and if we can do that, I think we can win by a couple points.
All right, Brett Goode, former Razorback, played twice against Texas, 10 years with the Packers. He's now with Henderson Phillips, and he can help you with your health insurance, retirement plans, employee benefits of all kinds, plus insurance that you have personally or for your business needing commercial insurance. Brett, 651-2292 is your number. What's the big concerns with your clients right now as you're starting to get people ready for 2022?
In 2022, it's the same thing. It's trying to keep the employees you got and retain some other ones. You know, there's a lot of people trying to – the employee market is not real big right now, so you're trying to attract employees from other companies, and you got to make sure that your benefits are up to par and really where they want to be for that employee to come over. So we've been fighting, you know, all day, every day, trying to get these employees covered and protected for the businesses to move forward.
All right, so if you find yourself in 3rd and 11 on your employee benefits, here's the guy that can get you a first down. That's Brett Goode, 651-2292. Call or text 651-2292. Brett, enjoy the games beginning tomorrow, and we'll talk to you next Wednesday.
All right, sounds good. Thanks, guys.
I had not heard this call before, but Tommy told me about it earlier this week. Craig O'Neill, who is a legend in this state for both B98.5 and THV, had a fantastic prank call to the Tennessee Athletic Department back in the day. What did I say? Tennessee?
Yeah.
Texas Athletic
The
Department.
other orange team.
The other orange team we hate. Here is Craig's call from back in the day.
Men's Athletics.
Is this the University of Texas Athletic Department?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I need to talk to somebody. This is a groundskeeper up at War Memorial Stadium in Little Rock. I got a real problem here. Can I talk to somebody there?
Okay, let me introduce you to the athletic director.
Yeah, this is Walker.
This is Gilbert McElroy up here in Little Rock at War Memorial Stadium. I'm the groundskeeper.
Yes, sir, Mr. McElroy.
And I was calling Mr. Dodd, who is the athletic director there, trying to talk to Coach McWilliams. Are either one of them in?
No, sir, I don't believe they are. I could check for you.
Well, we've got a small problem up here, and
Yes, sir.
and I just want to know how to handle it.
Well, I'll try to help you if I can.
All right. What it is last night, our boy that marks the field on the AstroTurf,
Yes, sir.
the sun was going down. It was getting real dark, and naturally we don't want to have to turn the lights on to mark the field, and his deadline was last night, and so it was dark, and he didn't realize what he was doing, and he was putting y'all's name in our south end zone, and he added an extra S.
I beg your pardon.
He put an extra S on your name.
How do you mean that? What do you mean?
Well, what I mean is it's TEXASS, and we don't have enough time to take that off. And I just want to know how we ought to handle this. That's why I want to talk to Coach McWilliams or Mr. Dodd.
Well, I think he's going to tell you the same thing I am. I think you need to get the S off of there.
Well, there's no way we can do it, sir, because it's just too involved. I don't know what to do about this.
Well, you just got. I don't know that I've ever encountered anything quite like this.
See, if y'all run out on the field, it's going to say
Yeah.
Texas. So
This is a joke, right?
no, sir. This has really happened here.
Son, see if you can find the coach. See if you can find him right now. Right now, go get him.
Are you?
I think if we can't get that off, and your name was McElroy?
Yeah, Gilbert McElroy.
Mr. McElroy, if you can't straighten this off, I think we've got a serious problem here.
But now, one thing we can do is put two lines down the middle of S and make it look like a dollar sign. What do you think of that?
I guess anything's better than nothing, but I think that's a pretty poor solution to this problem.
All right.
Can't you just white the whole thing out? Just white it out.
All right, now,
paint the whole thing out.
All right, no, it may not be dry by game time. If your boys score or our boys score, they're going to get that paint all over them. Now, also, that can cause whelps to break out on your skin. You ever rubbed up against that stuff? I'm telling you, Mr. Walker, this is a real crisis here. This game's going to be on TV, and I just
well, we certainly don't want to say tax ass, do we?
No, sir.
Well, I think that we got to do something about this.
I think our dollar sign's our best bet. I really do.
That doesn't sound like a reasonable solution.
It does to me, sir.
Mr. McElroy.
It does to me.
And I think that we better get our respective athletic directors involved with this, sir. And is this the best you folks up in Arkansas can do?
Well, for right now, that's the only thing I can. Unless you think we ought to add another S to Arkansas, make it even.
Don't think that would make any sense at all.
Well, we'd have two.
That doesn't make any sense to me at all, sir.
Well,
I don't think that does. I think we just need to get the S out of there. I think what I need to do, sir, is I think I need to get in touch with Coach Broyles right now.
No, hold.
I'm going to be calling Coach Broyles right now. Hold on a minute. That's Coach McWilliams right now. Hold on a minute. He's not too happy about this either, sir.
All right.
There, Mr. McElroy?
Here's what we're going to do. We're going to make the S into a B. We're going to make the S into a B. You following this?
Not very well, sir.
All right, and a 98.5.
What B 98.5?
Yes, sir.
I don't understand that, sir.
Yes, sir.
What good will that do?
Well, that's my radio station, Mr. Walker.
Oh, he got him. So,
got him.
Classic prank call. Hadn't heard that one in a long while.
Good old Craig O'Neill.
Yeah, so good to hear that. Little comedic relief here in the middle.
It's that time of the year again, and all eyes are now turning to football as teams are back on the gridiron to start the football season. As always, BetOnline is your #1 spot for all of the pro and college football action this season. Get all of the updated odds, props, and contests, including the online's biggest $500,000 NFL Mega Contest, the world's largest 200,000 NFL Survivor Contest, open now at BetOnline. Here's what you have to do. Head to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today and receive your 100% welcome bonus. Take advantage of their opening day super promo. Make a bet on the Thursday, September 9th season opener between the Super Bowl champion Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Dallas Cowboys. And if you lose, your wager's going to be refunded for up to $25 for new customers only when signing up and using the promo code NFL100. BetOnline is the fastest and easiest way to bet on all your favorite sports. BetOnline, your online sportsbook experts.